first things first. We're gonna talk about a couple of the games that we played, or that you played. So I watched a couple demos. One of them was with SP or whatever his name is. The other ones I watched had Jay in the game. The SP one I'm not gonna like follow too much because obviously you didn't have your 5. There wasn't like too much to really get from it aside from the fact that you guys just, I don't know, your teamwork wasn't great in certain situations, but I'll kind of talk about that as we get to it. The other ones that I want to talk about, your CT setup on pistol round, you've changed, correct, AJ? Because the one that you ran in 2 of them was like a kind of like heavy B early, and then you rotate off to A, which is kind of weird. Like you had kind of weird positioning just in general. Like one of you guys was like fighting right side mid, and the other 2 guys were like pit, which doesn't really make sense conceptually. You don't really want to do that because this guy just gets isolated and dies. So I'm assuming you have a CT pistol now. Yes, that's like a little more set up. The one you were
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah. It's pretty simple. Cal's gonna
Yep.
play Moto and spot the arch push. Um, Ender is gonna be in big pit. Uh, I told him to either buy nades or the Molly. Molly's now gonna slow the lane push when they're executing.
Okay.
And he's using a flash early to try and bait out. Uh, Fuck, I'm at a loss of words right now. Basically, he's just flashing early at the beginning to try and stall the push so we can get a rotate over, and then mauling lane, like in the middle, like where the bomb plant spots are, so they can't like quick plant. They have to keep pushing. Delph's gonna be in on the graveyard stairs. He's gonna be peeking into apartments. He's gonna have Kevlar.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Is
I'm fine with that. I don't.
that cool?
Yeah, that's better use of the molly. That's fine. The only real thing is you're gonna have to make sure that if Kyle's playing Moto, you guys support him when he rotates. Like,
And Ender has a flash to flash towards Moto if they take Arch.
okay,
Like
that's
if
fine.
Kyle has to fall off, that's where the flash comes from.
Okay, because the only real problem is if they do like a right side split and they just run into Arch and go B.
Yeah.
Kyle's gonna be like, it's really hard for him to fight this with a pistol versus like 4 Glocks or something. So that's one of the situations that you guys are gonna have to be prepared for. What's your B positioning like?
B positioning is Jay has Kevlar. Jay's picking like spotting in the corner. We're doing exactly what TSM does. We're like Kerrigan is a flash and a
The
5/7
flash
oranges.
ready? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the flash ready. Zipnix picks the corner and then tries to get like a one tap, and then if they execute B
Just
like they
hold
plow
off.
it, he
Yep.
just falls off CT.
Yep. Okay, that's fine. Um, okay, so that was okay. On your CT Eco, you guys had pretty good positioning. You guys played it well on both the games that I watched. You lost both pistols on outside of the one with SB. I think you actually won that one with SB, but you lost both pistols in the ones that I watched. So your ecos were actually pretty good. You got like 3 kills. One thing I would say though is you guys do like this like B setup where you have like one guy like baiting oranges and then you have like a CT guy and a guy like in this corner. You guys did that once with like 3 guys. Um, this guy doesn't need to have armor, and like kind of spread out your armor buys a little bit more because like you guys have a really hard time on your CT side managing economy. You guys still do it. Jay, I actually want to give you credit for this because you've stopped buying head armor uh, very well. Like you don't buy head armor all the time. Whereas Delph and Ender and AJ sometimes you guys are all guilty of like overbuying a lot. And if you like add it up, it's like 2 gun rounds you miss out on your CT sides because you just buy like head armor and like overbuy
I
for no
usually
real
only
reason.
upgrade head armor a lot when I think they're on eco, just because I'm scared of dim tech 9 digs.
Yeah, but that's another thing I was going to talk to you about. You have a really bad read of ecos. Like I'm going to get into that a little bit
Yeah,
later.
the last 2 scrims my eco calls were terrible.
Yeah, I'll get into that in a second. But for now, like just really try and manage your CT economy a little bit better. Like to give you an example, in the game against 420 Delph, on the last CT gun round, you bought full head armor. It was literally the last round of the half. You bought full head armor, and because you bought full head armor, you couldn't buy 2 flashes. Like they were 100. They had won the 2 rounds before that, and they were 100% gonna buy. But you bought full head armor, and you didn't have any flashes at B because of it. Whereas like a situation like that, you had like $100 left over, and it's the $300 that you're spending on that. That's 2 flashes you could have bought instead of head armor there.
Yeah, you're right. I was just, it's something I'm gonna have to overcome because I just kind of like instinctively buy the head armor without thinking about it. So I'm just gonna have
Yeah.
to be conscious of it now.
But like if you think about it, there's probably like on the average like CT half, there's probably about 9 gun rounds, right? That you're facing like against T's. Like you'll probably be against 9 gun rounds throughout the half at a minimum. So if you're fighting against 9 gun rounds and they have AKs in all of those 9 gun rounds, and you buy a $300 helmet every time you die, especially because you Delph are in like usually a position where it's likely you die in the round.
So I'll probably get headshotted anyways.
If you're buying, well, not only that, but you're also going to be rebuying armor probably the most. Like your pit guy, for example, is not going to be rebuying armor as much as you would playing lane if you're playing lane,
Yeah.
because you're fighting people more. You're one of the first rotators. You're one of the first points of contact that A. So you're going to die more than like Ender and Pitwood or something like that. So
Yeah.
for you, it's important that you know that and like manage when you're buying. You don't need to buy head armor every round, because if you buy head armor, 9 rounds in a row, that's like 2 gun rounds of head armor. Or that's almost 2 gun rounds of head armor that you're missing out on. So it does end up like really really building, and you don't really notice it. It's one of those things that is kind of like in the back of your head, but you never really pay attention to it. But it's one of the reasons why you guys have a rough time with your CT economy sometimes. Um, your ecos, I think you should not force buy on your ecos, because especially on a map like Inferno, uh, economy is really important for nade usage. And also your ecos, the way that you play them, you win them based on your positioning and your like setups, which doesn't really depend on your money. Like when you guys play a static setup on your ecos on Inferno and buy it, just you'll just play it like normal and you lose it like normal. But when you guys are playing like a 3B stack or like a 3A stack or whatever, um, you guys do really well actually. Like your positioning and your execution on your Eco's CT side is actually pretty good. But the kills that you get almost never would it matter if you have armor or don't have armor. You'd probably
Right.
get those kills without armor anyways. So I don't think that it matters for you guys, and it hurts your economy a lot. Like just buy like a pistol or something like that, like a 5.7 or a CZ or a P250 or whatever, if you want to do that instead of like an actual force buy. Obviously, like sometimes you need to actually force buy. I'm just saying, like as a general rule of thumb, you should try and err on the side of like managing your economy a little bit more,
Well,
because you
yeah.
guys have rough CT halves, which means economy management's really important.
I think that anytime we start CT7 and we lose pistol, we should never force buy.
Yeah, and in
It's if
both
we have
games
like
I
a really
watched you
rough
force spot.
yeah, it's if we have like a really rough T half going into CT and we lose pistol, that's a situation where we should
Hmm.
consider forcing.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally understandable.
Yeah.
Okay, so outside of that, uh, you guys had some really bad mid rounds on CT side. Part of that was because of who you had playing at what spot. Um, so this probably won't be much of an issue, but the general rule of thumb is when you have a 5v3, you want to go. Okay, so I'm pointing this out because against 420, you guys had on your first gun round, or sorry, your second gun round, round 5 of the half, you guys had a 5v3 on guns, okay? And what happened was they came up brackets. Kyle was playing Moto. AJ, you were Pit, and Jay, I think, was on like default. I think I'm pretty sure you were like around default. Um,
It was the opposite. I think Jay was pit and I was
no, you were
default today.
100% Pit, AJ.
Was I?
Yeah,
Okay. I feel
100%
like
Pit.
okay, I'm thinking of a different round then.
Yeah, because what happened was Jay fell off into pit because they did like a smoke execute, which was the right play. Jay fell off into pit so he didn't get isolated in sight. They smoked like right here, but they didn't smoke off pit really. And AJ, you sat pit behind here. This Jay died to a guy coming up lane, and then you sat pit like this, and Kyle got peeked from like right here, and you literally just like sat here the whole
Oh, I
time.
remember us. Yeah, yeah, Kyle and I had a good old yell about that.
Yeah, and you didn't like support him at all. So
Yeah.
like situations like that, it's way more important that you protect your teammates than you like stay alive, because you're in a number advantage already. So you don't want to give them free kills. You want to make sure that you're in a position where you can get a kill and your teammate can't die for nothing. Like that's all you want to worry about, is just killing people properly. Um, Jay got really unlucky because he kind of got like half one weight, I think, through this smoke here or whatever. The guy like walked up and shot him from like here, um, and it looked like it was smoked off, but it wasn't. But yeah, anyways, that's one of those situations where like that pit guy in that situation, you need to do what you can to protect the moto guy as much as possible. Not like wide peak here, but like peak this angle so that they can't like just run up default like that and shoot him
Yeah.
wide. Because Kyle was
Yeah.
holding the wall like here, so he couldn't be shot from a guy here. He had to like peek him like this, and he did, and then you just didn't even trade the kill or anything. So situation like that you got to work on. Your CT mid rounds in general at A were really bad. This is something your new setup you guys are gonna have to work on. There was a lot of times where you guys mid were not on the same page. Like there is situations where Kyle had like rotated off and the other person was still peeking left side, or the other way around, where like left side had fallen off and it looks like Kyle didn't know at all and was like still holding this angle, and the guy could have easily like just come out boiler and walked up on him, that type of thing. So you guys need to like understand during the round and mid round whether or not you're fighting or playing passive. So this is gonna be between Kyle and Delph. You guys are gonna be playing mid now, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Kyle's
you're
got
gonna be
Arch, I have lane.
exactly. So when you're lane Delph, if you have to fall off, you need to make it clear to Kyle that you can't fight mid with him, and you
Okay.
need to like tell him that
Set up with like a truck moto setup. Or
exactly
something like
something like that. Yeah, for sure. Like just a passive setup. Kyle can kind of like decide where he wants to play, um, but yeah, you need to make sure that you guys are on the same page, so you don't have only one person fighting mid. Either you're both controlling mid, or neither of you are, and you're both playing kind of passive.
that. Okay.
Um. Okay, so the other thing, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. AJ, you had a really bad read about ecos on this. Like in both demos, you need to like develop a system for yourself to establish like when they're ecoing and when they're not. Like it seems like you're trying to do it based off of feel, and you don't have a good feel of it right now.
No, I know. I
Hey,
realized
thanks
that.
for the follow.
We talked about that after when I turned the stream off after the first SP stream. We kind of talked about that,
Okay.
and then I still was thinking back. But that second stream, was probably one of the worst scrims I've had in the last like 6 months. I had like 8. I was like 8-22 in all of my.
No, I
games
wasn't
right
even
now, and it
watching
was
that one.
like-
I'm talking about the ones with Jay before against.
I get that. What I'm
Okay.
saying is that we talked about how after the SP thing, I acknowledged that I had like for the last like 3 scrims in Inferno, I had horrible eco calls, and how I needed to like. I don't think we had a huge discussion as much as I just like said it in
Okay.
mumble and said I needed to work on it. But like that was one of the
Thanks for the
things
follow
that-
again.
That's one of the reasons why I like drafted up these anti-eco setups. It's something that I can now like think about whether like I'm going to set up pre-round so that I can like it'll just be like a cue to help me actually like analyze if they're on eco, not just like feel that they're on eco.
Okay.
Because I was really bad at that. It was like
Yeah, because there was a couple rounds where like Kyle played aggressive hulls because you guys had no eco read, and you guys played like a like one more guy in boiler to support him, and then like you were right side mid,
yeah.
and Kyle like bailed. Like actually, this was a really good teamwork round because Kyle like got the pick, fell off, and then Jay supported him really well because Jay like completely you alternated, like you were like watching the jump up like this or something like that, and then you alternated, shot that, and then you guys both fell off boiler towards like halls, and then you pinched on the other guy that was coming out halls. Like Kyle was backing out, and he like jumped down, and then you covered his ankle really well, Jay, and just killed the guy that was chasing him. So it was actually a really good round teamwork wise, but it was a really bad early round because there wasn't the call on
like
the
call
eco.
of, like,
Yeah.
adapt, yeah.
Because yeah, that's the one thing that you need to like anyone else, if like you have a good system for that, you can also help with that. But you really need to work on it because there was a bunch of setups that were like if they actually you guys got ecoed like twice, I think, just because of a bad setup, if I remember
No,
correctly.
we did.
So work on that a little bit as well. Okay, outside of that, when you have numbers advantage on Inferno, it's actually a big advantage for CTs. Like the map is so CT sided, and the way Kyle plays it, he will generally like the way actually both of you guys play it. Like Kyle plays it really well, so he can almost always get you an opening advantage. And outside of that, at B, you guys were pretty good at like killing their B worker, so it worked out fairly well. But you guys like never adjusted your positioning once you had man advantage. So you would just get isolated into like a 1v1, or they'd split A and like with 4 people and just like do the same type of setup. You guys want to abuse the fact that you have numbers advantage a little bit more by like cycling your smokes a little bit later or a little bit earlier if you feel aggression. Like don't be afraid to use your nades. One thing I noticed is that sometimes you guys would like double smoke mid accidentally because you weren't on the same page. The rule of thumb should be, if Kyle wants to take the pick mid, he can pick mid, blah blah blah. But Kyle should be the first person that smokes mid because he's usually gonna have an op. So you don't want to be like mid round waiting for a smoke to explode and then or to expire, and then Kyle has to re-smoke it while it's expiring. Because a lot of teams, when the smoke is expiring and they want to go through a smoke, they're gonna come through at that point. So he wants to be the first person that smokes, so he doesn't have to like get caught with a smoke out or whatever. So usually teams won't walk up right away early. So Kyle smokes first, and then Delph, you use your smoke if you have it, that type of thing. So you guys should almost
Okay.
always have it so that Kyle's the first person to smoke mid if he's not using his smoke for like the B lane smoke or whatever.
So I guess it was like a misunderstanding. The reason that I was having Kyle smoke second was in case they needed to pick up a B smoke. I guess what we should do is, if we know that they're stacking towards B early, Kyle should immediately be the one to like smoke, like just throw his smoke immediately basically, and then have like Delphi the one who smokes mid at a late round. Or do you understand what I'm saying though?
No, I don't
The reason
actually.
that I was having Kyle smoke second was in case the B players needed to call for a smoke. Kyle's the one at Arch. He's the closest person who can throw it over. You know what I mean?
Right, but you should have timings on that. So like it shouldn't be something where it's like in the middle of the round, like when the smoke's expiring at B, it's like, oh, can you re-smoke B? Like you guys should decide like relatively early on in the round if it's gonna be like a B control smoke that Kyle's using or if it's gonna be a mid control smoke.
Okay.
And that's based on like how you feel the terrorists are working, how you feel they're like, if they're doing like raw B executes or like dry walking B or like solo picking B or whatever, then that's when Kyle should probably use it there. If they're not like just walking up mid, if they're working up mid kind of more aggressively, then Kyle should use it mid, that type of thing. So that's something that should be decided relatively early on in the round and not like a really really early mid round decision. You guys should know, if Kyle needs to know if this smoke is going for Arch or if it's going or B or if it's going for mid, because he should be the one that's throwing his smoke the earliest. So if it's going for B, he should throw it relatively early at B, because your second B guy, your B anchor, should be the one that's throwing your last smoke, because he has the most info. He'll know if he can delay it or not. Like there's a lot of info that the B anchor can get just by like playing the site and listening. So you don't want him throwing his smoke first, because if he throws his smoke first and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, there's 35 seconds left in the round, they haven't done anything. Kyle, can you smoke B? It's like, well, no, Kyle can't, because maybe it's a 5v4 and he's at Moto or something like that.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
like
Yeah, true, true. Okay, so would it be a smart idea then for us to like, especially like anti-eco, if we know that they're like gravitating towards B almost all on all of their eco rounds, should I have Kyle like really early just just smoke B so that we can cycle through 2 extra smokes and play B control? Would that
yeah,
be
you should
like
do
an
it. You
example
should
of
do
how
it
to
not
change
like
it?
super early, because it takes, okay, so it takes about like, where am I? So to get from T spawn to top of mid, it takes about like 25 seconds. Okay, so unless they full plow it, Kyle should be smoking like at the earliest like 30 seconds into the round, smoking B. He shouldn't do it like as soon as he gets here, because there's even if like they decide to come up mid, there's no way they're going to be up mid before Kyle like gets into position. So there's no reason for them to do that right away. If you molly at B, and like, by the way, one thing I was going to point out too, mollies are more important than flashes at B. I noticed a
Right.
lot of times you guys could like
It
afford.
was me. 100%. I think it was me more than Ender. I was just buying double flash because I
Mhm.
felt like I would have to get myself out of sandbags often. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. Mollies are way more important to be.
Yeah,
Just because
because
that
there was
chokehold.
times where you guys could buy like one flash and one. What do you mean overlay?
Hello?
Sorry, hold on.
Okay. I thought I was lagging out.
Oh my god. Why didn't you tell me, Erica? I told you. Oh, okay, I just clicked it now. Okay, never mind. I apparently set my overlay on accidentally. Wait, do I have it bound?
Fucked. You must. It's the only way.
Okay, anyways. you know, that's just wanted to get that in there. Anyways, okay, so what was I talking about? Sorry. Go ahead, Delph. You're saying something and I totally
No,
forgot what you said.
I already.
It
Well,
was just
I was
you.
basically just saying the mollies are more important
Mhm.
because the beat chokehold is real. It's really good to have a molly for the beat
Yeah,
chokehold when
exactly.
you're running
Especially
in.
against teams that do static executes. Teams at your level, if they do like a static execute and you just molly them out, they will not know how to adapt.
Yeah.
So that it's much more important. Like I almost would rather have like one molly than any flashes. It's usually best though. Like there was a lot of times where you guys were doing it with like double flash when you could have afforded like one flash, one molly, one smoke, that type of thing. Also
Yeah.
prioritize it over an HE grenade as well. Same thing. Like you guys were like buying like HE grenade double flash smoke instead of like smoke flash molly. So that's just one thing at B to be cognizant of. Mollies are very, very important. Okay, what else was it? Oh yeah. So AJ, with your aggressive B, you guys ran aggressive B a lot. I don't know if Kyle's mentioned it, but having an op there is kind of like
We also decided to move that
Yeah,
away
we
from
actually
talking
do
about.
okay.
agree on this.
It's a
Yeah.
double rifle setup now.
Yeah, it's not a double.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not an op setup.
That's
Yeah.
it's like
It's actually
literally,
pretty fucking useless to have him there.
Yeah,
with
because he's just
smoke out
looking at a
Yeah.
molly and a smoke, and if they jump through,
Mhm.
he might not even be able to see them. So yeah,
Literally, it's like the arch player smoke spot banana for us, and then me and Jay push down solo. Like
it
the first spot,
shouldn't be
the
your
first
arch
spawn
player. It should be
mollies.
your halls player.
Okay, then our house player does.
Because your halls player doesn't need to smoke as much as your mid guys do, and also your halls player can't like mid round. Your halls player can't use a smoke for anything other than smoke out halls, and a lot of teams won't send a lot of people halls. So you'd be better off having both your mid players with smokes because your right
Okay.
side arch player can like do the B smoke for you
And
if you
already
need
knows how
to.
to throw it anyways, so.
Yeah.
Because he was throwing it on our
He was trying to.
3-man anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The three stack's only good if you don't have the smoke bottom banana because you need somebody to scope in on bottom and then one person watching each cross. But there's no point in doing that because you're just giving man advantage easy.
Okay. So the other thing is when teams are taking mid aggressively, don't run your aggressive B setup. Because there was a couple times where like the team was clearly doing like mid aggression and they like did it 4 or 5 rounds in a row and like you just randomly started doing like double B aggression, which
Oh
was
well, I wasn't like trying to read teams as much as I was just like we should practice this round or we should practice this
well
round.
yeah, like it's
I
good to
won't lie to you,
practice what you're doing, but you should like practice it based on reads too, like especially on your CT side, because your CT side, like T side, it's fine to just like go over executes and stuff, but on your CT side, what's most important is your like your team play and working off of
yeah. So
each other.
I should practice my reads more.
Yeah,
CT.
exactly, and that's something that you need to practice. Like CT side, it's more important to read what the terrorists are doing and work on that skill than it is to just like run an aggressive setup for the sake of running an aggressive setup. Because like it's not like it's a complicated execute that requires a lot of timing or anything like that. Like it's literally just the basic aggressive B setup. So like if there's not a lot of need to practice it, because if there's people that run through, you shoot them. That's like it's not there's not much you can do wrong with this. Like sometimes you'll just get unlucky and they have like really good positioning or something, but it's not because of the execute that's wrong. It's just unlucky sometimes. But um, okay. On your T pistol, did you change it up at all?
I have not even like drafted a T pistol. I have
Okay.
strat stats that I already know, and I'm debating what like works best with like our team. I guess.
Okay, so one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to revamp your entire T side. I'm going to be blunt. Your T side's really bad on this map. You guys
Yeah,
look
like we were talking about it earlier.
okay. You guys look like you don't know where you want to go or what you want to do, and some of it looks like you guys have like you need structure in your game. Okay, so you need to know like what you're doing, but
Yeah.
the problem is like some of it seems like overly complicated on your T sides a lot of the time. Like you try and do like you would do your lane control and then like you would like I don't know, your mid rounds are just like it seems like they're too complicated. You need to keep
Yeah.
it a little simpler and have it flow better. Like flow in CS:GO is more important than making the absolute best 100% play cuz in CS:GO there is no such thing as like a play that will work every time against every setup or anything like that. It's like percentage based plays. But the most important thing on your T side is to commit to something as a team. It's better to make the wrong read or wrong decision and
Don't
have
execute
everyone
well.
fully commit to it
Yeah.
than it is to like go back and forth. Because sometimes it would look like there is a couple rounds where you would have like two guys towards mid, and then your bomb and one other guy was like. I actually took a screenshot of it because it was a very weird round. You would have like you had your bomb and one other guy like getting ready towards B, and then you still had two guys at mid like here.
Yeah, I remember this. I remember this
And like
very
looking at the
well.
round, it looked like you guys wanted to do like a weird split or something like that, and then you like second guessed it, and then some of you guys went back and the other guys stayed here, and it was very, very confusing. It looked very complicated and not necessary. It's better to just like focus on committing somewhere together. I want you guys to do less like fakes or whatever. And AJ, especially you, I want you to try and stop like thinking so much about what the other team is doing. Because I
Okay.
think right now you're trying to get too much into the head of the CTs and like figure out where they're rotating and all that. And instead of controlling your team in a fluid way, you're almost like changing your mind a couple times, and it's resulting in
Yeah.
some people not knowing like where they should go or when they should go or anything like that. Instead, it's better to have like just a concise, clear plan than something that's 100% right because you've known they've rotated here or here or here or here. Like that part isn't that much important, especially if you have like a number advantage situation where which you guys did a lot of the time. Actually, your default resulted in a decent amount of 5v4s, and you guys just didn't really capitalize on them because your mid rounds were like rigid and like you guys weren't sure of where you wanted to go sometimes. Another thing here, read the anti-ecos a little bit. You split up, you still, like, on Dust 2 is a bit of a problem too. Here it's the same type of thing. You guys split up a little bit too much on anti-ecos. Ender, you're the halls guy. Don't go into halls on an anti-eco ever. I don't know if you were doing it because you didn't know they were saving or if you like we're just told to do your standard default. I'm not sure. But if you know they're on an eco, don't go into hulls. This is like the easiest spot for a CT to get a pick on you on their eco. Most teams will play like two annoying rifles there.
Okay.
Or two annoying like pistols there, like a CZ or a Mag 7 or a 5.7,
So
anything.
Ender should probably just do something like
No, he should
Like
hold.
hold.
control or something
Yeah,
like that.
he should hold. Just like hold from back here, because it's unlikely the guy like peeks from back here and kills you. Like he'd have to hit a fucking really nice shot to kill you that far away with a 5.7 or something. Because that's actually outside of the 5.7 one shot range. So he can like peek down here and he'll just dink you. He won't kill you right away. So just like hold back there. Okay, so that's like a general review of what you guys are doing. Another thing. So I heard you the other day, Delph, say that your post plants are pretty good. They're not. They're actually really bad. A lot of the rounds you win on post plants are because of individual play. One thing at A, you guys have like a really weird aversion to getting anyone in pit. AJ, you particularly are very guilty of this. There was like, okay, so I actually calculated. Hold on, I have it written down somewhere.
Oh god.
Oh.
Okay, so you guys had 11 over the 3 demos that I watched. You guys had 11 post plant opportunities where like I judged that someone could have easily got in pit, and out of those 11 opportunities, only 3 times did you actually get a guy into pit. You won all 3 of those rounds and lost the almost every round. I think you had lost like 7 of the other rounds that you didn't have a guy in pit. When you're planting at A, this is by far the most important spot, bar none. No other spot is remotely close to as good at that. Halls is probably the second best spot, but pit literally will win you or lose you the round. If you have a guy in pit on a post plant situation, whether it be a 2v2, 3v3, 4v4, it doesn't matter. If you have a guy in pit, your chance of winning the round as a terrorist is like probably like 80%. If you don't have a guy in pit, it actually is like even or almost favors the CTs because not having to worry about this angle makes 2 things the area of focus, halls and sight. Sight is really easy to clear for a CT because you can just like wide peek each angle individually, right? And like the terrorists can't really do much about that. You just have to hit your shot, and if you miss your shot, you're probably going to die. So having a guy in pit to be in position to trade, this angle is really good, by the way. You can help your teammate in
Yeah,
sight if he's back there, that type of thing.
honestly, I don't know many people who would ever like peek pet like that.
Yeah,
Ever,
exactly.
so-
Because most people will come like to peek
Most
this site.
people are worried about backside or like you know the point in sight like go back into sight the pillar Like you can get yourself like crouch jump onto the pillar behind you.
Oh, this,
Like
yeah.
there, yeah. Like facing the other side, and you
Well,
can
you can
like
also
look
make it.
over. This
Oh,
here?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. It doesn't
No,
matter. Yeah. Anyways,
exactly.
it's a very strong spot. So you guys need to do this. AJ, I'm going to call you out on this because there was probably like 4 rounds where like Jay was planting the bomb here and you were right here and you chose to run back to lane instead of go into
Go to
pit.
pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is exceptionally bad for 2 reasons. First of all, or you even like ran into sight. First of all, it gives Jay nowhere to go after he plants, right? Because if you're lane, Jay can't probably cross the pit unless you have a smoke here. Jay
Yeah.
can't cross the pit because there's probably rotators already posted on him. He can kind of go in sight if he's lucky, but like he doesn't really have anywhere to go other than to lane or to sight. Like pit's almost guaranteed to have someone watching it.
And
So
then
it's
die
it's
trying to
very
cross the
hard.
yeah.
So like whoever's planning should be the guy that goes into sight or the guy that goes lane. The guy that planted should be that. Anyone that was alive with him should be trying to get pit if you have the opportunity. Obviously,
Okay.
there's some times where you won't have the opportunity, but most of the time you will. Also, AJ, don't ever do this again. You were playing this and you sat like this the whole round, and as a result, you guys were in a 3v3. Ender, you'll probably remember this round. Ender, you actually played Halls really, really well the whole time. I have no issues with how you played it. You read pretty well exactly how you should play in Halls. You didn't play overly aggressive. You played aggressive when you needed to. So you actually played it really well. It was a really good job. There was a round where you were like sitting here, just holding the post plant, and you got shot from Halls. And you were probably wondering, how the fuck did a guy get Halls? Here's how he got Halls. He went like this, walked the entire way porch, walked up into boiler, and flanked you Halls, while AJ was at this pillar right here, not peeking anything.
Yeah, I tried to make
Here's the
I
thing
tried to make a
about-
pipeline and
Because AJ was like,
was that the Tech 9 round or the gun round? I did that.
No, it was a gun round. It was a gun
Two
round. It was a gun round.
Yeah, I fucked us over 2 times doing that. One was a Tech 9 round, one was a gun round.
because AJ was like, they can be in hollows. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I know,
don't-
because you cleared Halls. He cleared all of Halls. He cleared Darkroom. He cleared Boiler, everything. And he gets here. He like killed the guy Pit, and then he like played here, just ready for the trade in case one of your guys died or whatever. And he got shot from his right. And I guarantee you, the comments were like this. You're like, one could be Halls, and then there's like, no, I cleared Halls, and then just kept watching this, and then he got shot from Halls because you let a guy walk all the way up. So never ever play this angle. There's like no reason to do it. It's like a super selfish angle. Just don't play it. Because not only that, but like you have to remember, you guys actually didn't have anyone in pit, and you had a guy like kind of right here. So this guy could have potentially just like walked up, shot you, and then like traded the guy's sight right away before Ender could have even done anything. Either way, it's a really bad spot. Don't do it.
Yeah, that's what I've gathered. I think I've
Um,
gathered in general, just like simplify everything, because I think I'm overthinking. Like, oh, they'll expect a guy in pit. I shouldn't- I
okay,
shouldn't
to
go
win
pit.
games in Counter-Strike, you need one thing. You need team play. You don't need, like, you guys have a lot of skill. You don't need a ton of skill, especially at your level. You guys need to play off trades, you guys need to play together, and you guys need to commit to, like, a team mentality, and that will win games in this game. There are a lot of teams that are a great example of it. I can name them for you. It doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is, if you follow that mentality and don't play for yourself and play for your teammates instead, you'll do well. Okay, so that being said, now we're going to start going over what I want to do for your T side. I'm going to revamp pretty much everything you're doing, make it much more efficient, and change a couple things, okay? So I have a Google Doc that I'm going to send you guys that has it all written up. Let me get the link for it. Wait, did I hit it again? Oh my god.
Can I sit in this channel and absorb your wisdom, Nitro?
Sure, if you want. I'm streaming right now if you want to watch it on stream.
Ooh.
Just
Yeah,
watch
you-
the stream.
you
He's got
fucking
some
pretty-
dank
you
viewers
just
right
went
now. He's
live,
got like
bro. She
45
doesn't-
viewers
Yeah,
or
there's
something.
like 40 people watching you coach.
What?
right
No
now.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, I just
Check the
saw that, yeah.
scoreboard.
Damn.
Yeah, you get
I
followed
made
by
it.
like.
I made it easy.
All you have to say is just type coaching in your fucking stream. People are like,
Okay, did you guys oh wait, I posted it in Mumble, hold on.
I've got a lot of notes, by the way. So this is good.
Good.
I posted an ECA thread. I was like, our coach is helping us.
Okay, I sent you guys on Steam the hold on, where?
You got the power.
Are you mute, buddy? It could be honest.
Oh yeah, you know me. I've been streaming I really care about my streaming viewers and their
Dude,
viewbot all day.
you gotta show me how to format like this. This
Yeah,
is fucking
that's what I was
gorgeous.
gonna say.
Wait, so this can be like seamlessly shared through Hangouts?
My notes do not look anywhere
It's
near
not
as good
Hangout.
as this.
I know
Holy
your
shit.
notes were very, very like convoluted, and you can kind of. The funny thing is, like, you can kind of see your thought process in it, like the way you described rounds when you kind of did an early write up of stuff was very much like
Very
hectic and
AJ?
chaotic. Yeah,
That was very
exactly.
AJ, yeah.
And you need to just like simplify it a little bit more than that.
So this is a
Hello,
super routine,
friends.
but in a wonderfully easy to read manner. Holy shit.
Did
This is
did everyone
so
get the
easy.
link?
Hold on.
Delph,
did
you're
you send me
offline on
Mumble?
Steam. No, I sent it
Yeah, I
on
got
Steam.
it.
You're
Yeah,
That's
offline.
nice.
I'm back online. Somebody was messaging me on Steam, so I was trying to focus, so I just went offline. Can you resend it?
I did.
Alright, I've got it now. I've got it.
Oh Lord.
Let's see this.
I'm gonna log
Holy
into Twitch.
shit, you've got a fucking.
God, having
Oh
a
my
coach
God.
is so much easier. Oh my
You have
god.
tables.
You actually have to teach me how to format shit.
I'll send you the blank
Gorgeous.
template. I have a template that I use for like us
How
and
much are
stuff,
we
so I'll
paying?
give you.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you're paying me all the money, boys. All
I'm
$0.
By the way, I can tell that you just have this saved from your team because if you go all the way down to the bottom, it says Ian, Rob, Cody, Justin, Brandon. By the way, you should get rid of
Does
Brandon.
it really?
Yeah, go to page four.
I didn't even realize that. I thought I deleted all the M3 ones. Oh
Um,
yeah. Well, you
Wow.
know. Anyways,
Never mind.
well no, this is like I rewrote the entire stuff. This is all stuff for you. I just use a template
Gotcha.
with names.
Cool, and
I'm
you,
just joking with you.
took you took the strats we already worked on. You added to.
I changed a lot of what you've done, yeah, but yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like I've changed it to make it more efficient. So, okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Holy shit, I
gonna-
see do not hesitate and bold a lot for me.
Yes, I'm gonna point that out. One thing I'll point it out right now, I guess. One thing that's been happening on your lane execute stealth is you overcommit to fighting the default guy. So what'll happen is like you guys get that pop flash and like you'll peek this guy and a couple times like he's kind of in the smoke and you'll just like sit here spraying, waiting for him to like re-peek or trying to like spray him in smoke. You need to hit the site there. Like you need to come over here. Don't even peek all the way wide like this. Just come over here, peek this angle, shoot a little bit, and then not knife out obviously,
Just-
but then like
and then
take
just
the
run
site
up
with the
inside
flash.
and
Yeah,
get the-
exactly.
Okay.
Because you're gonna, especially if this guy's opping, you coming here will win you the round. What happened a couple times is you had like two guys that were trying to fight this guy default. He shot at you, fell off. You kept spraying. He just re-peeked, killed you, and then he did the same thing to another guy, and he got 2 kills. Whereas if
Okay.
you didn't like try and commit to that fight and just took the site on him and gained ground, you would have actually just killed him, and you guys would have won the round. So, oh lord.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Canada, yeah, everyone's from NA. Well, all the main chatters, I guess, are from NA. Okay, so on your default, we're gonna go over a couple things here. I'll start it off with kind of explaining the general idea for your default. You can see it in the writing that I wrote up. What you want to do here is you're gonna work in kind of pairs to take control of 2 important spots on the map. So one's gonna be banana control, and the other is gonna be halls control. These 2 spots on Inferno are pretty much going to be the crux of your crux. Get it? Crux of your crux of your T side. It gives you versatility to work wherever you want. Mid round, it allows you to figure out what you want to do and execute based on the map control that you have. So we'll start off towards B. J, I've switched it up so that you're going to be working B control. What I want you to do, I can't buy a flash because of ESEA servers, but I want you to throw the high flash so that if an opera goes car, he gets blind. So if a lot of operas will like hold this angle or even the wide angle. So I want you to just throw a flash to get him off that angle a little bit, and then you're gonna cross to logs. So once you get across to logs, you kind of post on this angle for a little bit, and then I want you to throw a nade that'll land for crack and for wagon. Okay, so you basically just like stand right up against this and aim like in between these 2 like wire things here.
Okay.
You know what? Here, hold on. I'm just gonna restart the round and then I'll show you with actual nades.
What the fuck is hotbox smoke? Is that the one that lands on top of truck?
Hotbox smoke is the one that lands in the truck. That's what
Oh.
I call it. I don't know what you guys call
So I
it.
just have to learn another smoke, basically.
Hold
Yeah, shot
on.
me, it won't let
I
me
need to
buy
go
mollies.
Yeah, I need to take off infinite ammo, that's why.
Okay.
We learning. Oh god, it's gonna kill me too. Alright. Okay, so... Alright, so Jay, you're gonna throw this nade right here. It'll land like right there, and it'll do like 60 damage to anyone holding crack, and he won't see it. Like the thing is, like if he's scoped here, he won't see it at all, and it'll do like 60 damage to anyone holding like this wagon angle or this guy like posted here with an op or just like jiggle spotting or whatever.
Okay.
Okay. How does he play on this res? It's just a lot of time, and I'm used to it. That's what's up, Dane? I'm on 1024 black bars. Okay, so once you do that, you're gonna get kind of closer here, and when you get to this point, you're gonna call for like Kyle, or you're gonna let Kyle know that you have like control of there, okay? And then Kyle's gonna come over and he's gonna throw a pop flash for you that'll land like crack. I'll show him it after because I'm pretty sure he's AFK right now. And then you're gonna molly sandbags at the same time, like you know the sandbags molly, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then after the flash goes off, sorry, I can't hear you. My follower sound going off. Okay, so after the flash goes off, you're gonna peek and you're gonna like clear this angle and kill this guy if he's running away. Okay, so the idea of it is if there's a guy playing like sandbags, he's gonna get blind by Kyle's flash. Kyle's flash is gonna land like right here, so it'll blind a guy here, here, or playing sandbag. And once he's unblind, he'll be mollied, and then he's gonna like panic run away, and you're gonna kill him if he's playing sandbag. Okay,
Show the flash for. He's laying in bed. He's.
I'll show him after. It's fine. He needs to. He doesn't need to know it right now. It's just for the general setup. Okay, so then once you get banana control here, you'll just hold. Okay, I don't want you to work like a raw pick on them or anything like that. I want you to just like hold. When you're holding, don't hold car. I want you to hold from like here because a lot of teams, if they're smart, if you take banana control, they'll sometimes do a pop flash retake on it, and if you're playing car, you're gonna die. If you're playing this angle, you can just like fall back if you get blind and like play in second logs or whatever. Okay.
Yep.
The other thing at BJ on the default that's really important is I want you to pay attention to whether or not they're using smokes early. If they're not using smokes early, it's similar to what I said to Delph. You can use it to your advantage, and you can do like a B walk on them really early into the round and just get close on them before they're even ready, and they'll just be like sitting here with a smoke or whatever, and then you'll just explode on the site and trade and win. Okay, so that's what you're doing on your default Jay. Now I'm going to go over what you want to do, Delph. Okay, so the whole idea of your default is going to be like it's a 1-1-3 basically at the start of the round. Ender, you're going to be holding hulls, and you're going to be doing your normal hulls control stuff. I liked how you took control of hulls, so keep doing it the same way. The only thing I would say is before you peek this angle, wait for Delph to be in position, and then you guys double peek it together. Okay. But other than that, Ender, keep doing what you did for Hall's control. It was good. I liked it. You took it at like proper speed. You didn't like overextend too much. It was good. So you're gonna do the same type of thing. AJ, what I want you to do is you're gonna come. Do you know how to make this jump?
Yeah.
From here? Okay.
Yeah.
Come and spam here.
Like my timing's not gonna be great, but I can like.
Okay, we'll practice it, whatever. You don't need to spam it from here. You can spam it from like back here or whatever. It's just a little bit better be here because what's going to happen is Delph's going to molly out Darkroom and you're going to be able to watch this crack for him to run back.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just to get info. Delph, what you're going to be doing is because you're going to be the entry guy, we want you to expend nades as early as possible in case you die, right? So
Okay.
you're going to be coming alt mid. You're going to be holding on the window push. AJ, you're also holding on window push, obviously, early on.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for the follow, guys. Hey, what's up, Craig? Long time no speak, man. Should have come to the last line.
Yeah,
It was
like 2
awesome.
seconds. Literally 2
Okay,
seconds.
that's
I'll be
fine.
back.
Craig just showed up in my chat. Okay. So, Delph, do you know how to molly out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
So you're gonna molly out dark. Before you do that, though, I want you to come here, you just like stand up against this planter, and then you throw a nade like right here. It'll nade the guy that sits right here. It'll do 80 damage to him. So if a guy's like sitting holding this angle, you've actually died to this angle like twice jumping up into boiler. If a guy's sitting here, it'll like just annihilate him and he'll fall off. So
Okay,
it clears that like jump up angle. So the way that it goes is you guys hold a little bit early, you get into position, you throw your nade, you come over, you do your molly. When you're mollying, Ender, I want you to be posting on the fallback. When you're doing it though, you don't need to be like overextending right here. One thing that you can do is just listen for the guy to run out and then chase him down. Because a lot of the time, if he's getting mollied out, he'll peek this angle right away. So you don't, if you're not comfortable taking the fight, you don't need to. You can just use your sound and like kind of hide up against the wall, and then like chase him when he's thinking he's gotten away. Oh really?
that's
That
fine.
sucks. I thought they would have
Just
allowed
need
it.
to work on my timings with Ender when we're taking it.
Yep, exactly. So you guys are going to go over your timings after this. I'm just giving you like a general idea of what you want to do on your default, and then I'll have you practice it a little bit. So that's what you're doing. AJ, you're doing that. You're spamming. You're holding mid, watching for the fallback after it's mollied, that type of thing. Kyle, you're going to be holding mid, kind of like I talked to you about earlier. So you know what you're doing. It's something you've done. You're going to help Jay at B. So at the end of your default, you should have control of halls and banana. If you've encountered like fights and you've come out ahead, like if they've fought for halls control, then your default is over, right? The whole point of your default is to gain map control and possible number advantage. So once you get into position on your default, that's your job, AJ, to figure out what you want to do from there based on your numbers and like what you have and what info you have and that type of thing. But you want to run your default and then use your default to get you into position where you can do something off of that. So if your default goes well, you get a pick or something like that, then use that right away. Don't still hold the default and like obviously still hold the default a little bit because a lot of teams will take map control, but start to conceptualize what you want to do in the round once you get that positional advantage or once you get the number advantage, that type of thing. Try and figure out for you, AJ, what info you have, but keep it simple. Commit to something as a team instead of like trying to overread them. Overreading's a really big problem for people that are inexperienced. You want to just kind of go with your gut a little bit more than like trying to really analyze how they're playing.
Okay.
So just commit to something, say, okay, we're going to do our A take, we're going to take bracket control, that type of thing. So that being said, I'm going to go over your bracket control now. You guys should have all of this written out, but I'm going to go over it again. Oh, I also have screenshots of smokes that you're going to learn. I'm not going to show you any smokes right now. I'll send you the imager folder or thing of it after, and you guys can practice that once we're done this. AJ, on your brackets control, so say you've done your default, you have halls control, Delphs and boiler, that type of thing. Delph, you're going to do the same thing you were doing before on your like A execute. You do the flash out, then you come up boiler when your team's ready. Kyle's doing the same thing. AJ, I'm changing it up though. You're not going to be flashing from down here. You're going to be... Oh, also, Ender, you're going to be doing the left side smoke on the default. I forgot to mention that.
Because, yeah, I'm going to be alt mid by default now, so it makes more sense for me to be flashing from closer.
So, Ender, you're going to be throwing a smoke from here that lands on left side mid. Okay? On your default, like, lane control shit. It's going to land right there. I'll have a screenshot for you. I have a screenshot for you to learn it after. But what you're going to do is, Ender, you're going to take halls control with Delph, and then once Delph's like towards boiler, you're just going to fall back and throw that and then go back into halls because you're kind of like lurking halls anyways. So once you take control of it, you're not needed to be like at the end of halls right away. So you have time to come back, throw your smoke, then go back, that type of thing. Okay? Because Delph's going to be in halls controlling it at that point. Got it?
Okay.
AJ, on your bracket control, you're going to be throwing a flash from here instead, and then you're going to be coming up mid with the team to get trades, because I don't feel comfortable with just two people trying to clear lane control. Like, say they do the stack there, it's easy for those numbers to go bad. So you're just like, you line up with this like fucking black line thing on the ground, okay, and then you're going to like just throw this pop flash here, and it's going to bounce off that, and it'll land like right here. So it'll actually flash off an opper, it'll flash porch, it'll flash under porch, it'll flash column, it'll flash everything except cubby. Delph, your flash from here will flash cubby, so you don't have to worry too much about cubby, and it's going to be smoked off, obviously. So when you come out, Delph, I want you committing to just
sorry,
watching the right
you don't
side.
You don't want me to stagger the flash this time because he's throwing a pop flash, right? You just want us to time it exactly. So everyone.
Yeah, about
right?
exactly. It doesn't really matter that much, yeah.
Yeah, they don't have to be on the dot, but because before we were staggering it because of the, like, it was just like flash off the guy based on where I was. Yeah, now that we're both together, we can just
Yeah.
like flash around the same time.
Exactly. So once that happens, you're coming out, you're focusing completely on like pillar and boost and porch, Delph. One thing I don't want you to do is overcommit to a fight here, because a couple
Yeah,
times
I
you
never
got.
do that without an execute.
I saw
Usually.
I saw you do it twice. So
Was
you're
that with
lying
the
to me.
default flash?
Yeah.
No, but that was with the.
No,
default
it
flash,
wasn't.
right?
It wasn't. You chased the guy. He was playing this angle here,
Oh yeah, okay, I remember.
and
this.
he
That
got
was
kind of
95 to
blind.
5.
Yeah,
Yes.
but he baited you into their setup
Yeah,
because
I got
this guy was
super
just
aggro.
this guy was just
Exactly.
holding this angle and he just killed you. So
Yeah.
it was kind of like almost like a bait setup on their CT side. So be careful of that because you don't have anyone there to trade with you. Kyle actually was heroic and able to get the trade because he like knife out jumped up mid to help you when he saw you
What a
committing
fucking
to
legend.
it. But
If you're here, Kyle, I love you.
but he shouldn't be put in a position where he has to do that. Okay, new server.
God damn it. This always happens.
Yeah, I know.
I was just like,
yo,
You
yo,
guys
yo.
must have been in the server.
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
getting paid
wow.
anything actually. It's my friend's team.
Yo,
So
join.
I'm doing it
this
for free.
oh,
I'm in.
Did you invite me?
Yeah, I'll invite you in a second.
Oh, I thought I sent it to you, Ender. Why didn't you say something?
He said
I
it in
didn't
chat.
join the
I
same
sent
one.
it to him. I sent it to him. It was okay.
I thought you just
Yeah, I just don't like you
Purpose.
actually.
Can you
Yeah,
tell
sorry,
her
bud.
stop moderating me?
What's she doing?
Was that Kyle?
She deleted my messages.
Did she?
Yeah, in chat.
wow.
Here, I gotta wait till it does the waiting for players to rejoin.
Yeah,
so
just
change
invite
that.
me when it's ready.
Betcha, bud.
Okay, so I can keep talking about it a little bit. So on your brackets control, it's the same thing that you guys were doing before, except AJ, you're coming up mid with them to control it. Once you guys get bracket control, you're gonna fall off. Jay, I want you staying towards, or no, you're not necessarily gonna fall off, all of you. Like Delph's still gonna stay up, but AJ, you're gonna fall off to set up for your smoke if you need it. Jay, at B, when they're doing like brackets control, I want you to still keep a little bit of control at banana. If you don't feel comfortable playing like up at the logs angle, play like, or the second logs angle, play like the far back logs angle or something. But I just want to make sure that they can't get control of car. And try and listen for like if they pop flash peek banana or something like that. Usually most teams will still play passive. They're not going to just like dry peek B. But just like I want you to be in a position where you have info on them if they're trying to like play aggressive at B as a result of our bracket control type thing.
Quick question. On the default, what if they have enough money that they're consistently like mauling, nading, everything really quickly? Do you still want me doing the same stuff?
No,
Just
if
delayed?
they're yeah, exactly. That's what I want you to do. If they're mollying and nading and stuff like that and controlling the end of B with the new smoke timings, just wait it out. If you have a really good spawn, you can actually beat them and get to logs. But if you're doing that, you should ask for Kyle to throw the high pop flash for you, so you can just commit to taking logs control, and then you can fight them if they're playing car. The other thing that you can do is instead of mollying sandbag, if they're playing like heavy car control without a smoke, you can throw the molly for car. I'll show you which one in a second though. AJ, do you have a server yet?
Yeah, I invited you. You got an invite.
I did not get an invite. Or did you invite me on
I get
ESCA?
200.
You had an
99 for it?
ESCA. I just sent you a
Oh
game
shit,
invite, though.
okay, yeah. I didn't realize.
There's those unlimited smokes there. Fuck me.
I'm already joining, Jake.
You should limit teams so
No. Okay.
I don't know if you've noticed, but my M4 and off are appropriately named as well.
Wait, is there a first spot for scrims?
I think so.
Is there what?
I don't think there was one for scrims. There was for matches, but you have to be paid on the roster in order to be in the match.
Nigga, I already know this shit.
Yeah, which I sorry guys, but I'm not leaving my my premier team to
Yeah.
Aw,
Man, you're just
bro.
not deady enough.
Wow.
Just not deady enough.
Kyle, don't be a fuckboy. Come here. I know you like to
Sorry,
troll me.
Trees. Please die.
He's
No,
AFK,
don't tell
isn't
me.
he? Okay, fine. You're learning flashes. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So where was I? Right. So on your brackets control, that's what you're doing. Yeah, Jay, you can molly car. When you're mollying car, don't just like randomly throw it around this thing. So what'll happen is it'll bounce and then it'll actually land behind car. Because what a lot of times will happen is if you throw like just a random molly, it'll land in front of car and not molly behind car, and they can like one way behind it. So make sure you throw it on the left side of the wall so that it bounces and hits this like cardboard thing and actually lands behind car like that.
Okay.
Yeah, outside of that, that's what you want to do towards that. If they're playing car control, Kyle, I'm going to show you something to do later on with Jay to mitigate like any map control they can get through car control. But I'll go over that when you're ready later. Okay, back to the brackets control. So the whole point of this is to gain more map control. Jay still controls B. The rest of you guys shift in position, take control of brackets, and then you have mid control. From here, you can do pretty much anything. You can go back towards B and leave a guy mid who like goes left side. You can work into your execute at A. You can just dry take A, that type of thing. So that's the whole goal. Your default, get map control at B and halls. Then after your default, if they're not playing aggressive, you don't get any picks or anything like that. You go into bracket control. After that, the whole premise of Inferno is to slowly take control of the map as a T. Like that's how you win T halves on Inferno. Is you get control of the map. You trade off of each other well. Trading and spacing is really important on this map as a terrorist. You can't be. There's a lot of spots where a CT can kill you and reposition, but there's not a lot of spots where a CT can like kill you and immediately not be killed if you don't have a teammate near you. Like if you have a teammate near you, you can almost always get a trade on Inferno. The exception is like taking banana, which is why you need a good execute on banana. But like towards brackets and like early banana control, halls control, that type of thing, you can do a lot of like pinches and splits and like take it together as a team and get favorable trades for the T side. So when that happens, you go into your execute at A. So here's your right side lane execute. One thing one of you guys who's throwing the hotbox smoke, which is like the smoke that lands in truck when you
Well,
guys
Jay
did
was
your
throwing it
execute.
before, and I was throwing the pit smoke. But in your notes, you want us to trade. So I
The
guess
reason why I wanted you to trade is because I want Jay throwing. I want Jay actually. I don't want you coming up mid late, AJ. I want Jay throwing the pit smoke both times because on the wrap he's gonna throw a pit smoke as well. So that way both times he's throwing the exact same
He's
smoke. He doesn't
consistent.
have to
Yeah, that
line
makes
up
sense.
differently. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So AJ, you're gonna throw the hotbox smoke then. Jay, you're gonna throw the pit smoke. I'll show you the screenshots after if you don't know them, but I'm sure you guys can figure it out. So on your execute, that's what you're doing. It's basically the same execute. The only difference is Ender, if you have Hall's control, I want you to use it to actually like flash out a little bit more. Like if you're over here and they've like smoked this out or something, while they're throwing smokes over, I want you to just like come here, throw like a bounce flash like that, and then like molly off pit. Okay?
Alright.
That's only if like you're smoked out or if you feel confident that you can get into this position without there being a guy on balcony or anything. I don't want you to like play overly aggressive. How you were playing it was really good. Just if like sometimes you were smoked out and you would just like sit here. Instead of doing that, just like throw those flashes and molly out pit so that when your team's coming up, there's less angles that they have to worry about. Okay. So you guys are gonna do pretty much the same execute. The only real outside difference is going to be Kyle. You're going to be throwing a moto smoke because you guys got up for moto a lot because you don't have a moto smoke. I have the lineup screenshotted, but it's like basically just like this or something. I don't remember
So
offhand.
who will be throwing the
I know how
resmoke
to
when we
throw
get
it,
brackets
so-
control?
You're throwing the resmoke Delph. It's in the document if
okay.
you haven't seen it. So you're not using your smoke early Delph. You're taking control of this, and then you're just gonna like throw a resmoke there if you have
Okay.
lane control. Kyle's gonna post on your like porch so you can't be peeked, and then you're just gonna resmoke left side if you guys already are up and you want to do the execute.
All right, yeah, that works.
AJ, push your pit.
Did I do it again? What do you mean? Is my thing on? Hold on. No, it's
Generally speaking, coming off the default, how long or so like should I be kind of like waiting before I start heading back towards mid to get ready to like
Okay.
play smoke?
on your default. That's gonna kind of be based on like when AJ calls you want to do the
Yeah.
execute. If you guys take brackets control and off of that AJ decides, okay, we're gonna do the execute, then as soon as AJ calls that, that's when you want to start heading back, Jay.
Okay.
You just want to walk back far enough they can't hear you run. And
Yeah,
then work it the
exactly.
rest of the way.
Yeah, because the whole point of this is you should be doing this relatively quickly, not necessarily like fast, but you should be doing this early into the round so that you have enough info to know whether or not you can go into your A execute or if you guys want to go into B execute, that type of thing. The timing
Mhm.
you're gonna just have to kind of like work on a little bit and learn. It's gonna be a bit of a learning process, but outside of that, like it should be okay. If you have to run, it's not a big deal. Just like get the smoke when you can. It's unlikely if you've been holding banana control that they'll do that and like fall back and have it. The other thing is the pit smoke's relatively easy, so someone else can throw it if you need it. Okay, so the only other thing that I wanted to point out about your A execute is that you guys need to be pressuring site more than you are. There's a bunch of times when you did your execute that like one guy would like sit here, one guy would like sit here, and you guys would just like be trapped in limbo waiting for this guy to repeak. And that's what you guys can't do. That's how you lose
That's on
running
me.
a
That's
lane
on me.
execute.
I just have to run
It's
into
not
the
just
site.
you. AJ and Jay both did it a little bit too.
Yeah.
So you guys need to like pressure site. Don't.
I need to be less baity, I think.
Yeah.
Energy says.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially because you're actually like probably one of your weaker clutch players. You don't want to be putting yourself in a position where like you're the last alive all the time
Yeah.
based on your positioning. So just commit to taking the site. You win A executes by committing to ground control. Major Tom to ground control. No, to committing to like gaining ground on the site, putting these guys in a really awkward position. Like even this pit guy, he's perfectly fine. Like if you guys are fighting back there, he's perfectly fine just waiting. He's not gonna feel any pressure at all if you guys aren't taking site. If you guys are taking site, a guy in pit is gonna be like, fuck, like I have to help my team. Okay, I'm gonna maybe make a play or I'm just gonna bait, that type of thing, and then you guys can just isolate him while he's like thinking about that stuff. You can kill his teammates and then you can just pressure on him. Like once you guys have killed that guy default, I want you to work on taking pit control. Ender comes out, helps you, and you guys just control pit. It's that easy. Okay, so then.
Whoa, you got a Twitch staff member in your
What's
chat
not
right now,
working?
Nitro.
Oh yeah, ooh,
Big
Dude.
time.
big time now.
You're big time now.
We're big boys. Anyways, okay, so.
Front page, next up.
Okay, so when we're talking about your A rap, this is something you guys haven't done, or at least you don't have in your repertoire yet.
We just
Yeah, we
went
went over
over
this.
one before you joined, and then you gave us one that's better, so we're just gonna do
Okay.
this one now. We were like dry running one like without Kyle before he got here, and we were like, this feels pretty good.
Okay.
And now we're done. It's very similar to the one you throw, except you have an extra smoke that's really helpful.
Okay, so yeah, so the whole point of it is you guys are basically in the same type of position. You're gonna smoke off. You're gonna have brackets controlled with Delph up there, and then you're gonna smoke off Library and Arch, and you're gonna take the site.
Yeah.
When you're wrapping, if you have, like I said in the document, I want you to do a 3-1-1 if you have 5 alive. If you don't, I don't want Jay going lane side. I want you going left side with the team. Ender, you're going to be doing the same type of thing in halls. Your job is to, when your team is coming out, like when they're moto fighting, you're going to hear this guy's sight or this guy pit start fighting, or your team's going to start shooting at him. If you hear that, then you're going to peek out and kill him. Okay? I don't want you to peek until you hear contact between the pit guy and your guys coming moto. There's going to be a smoke here as well, so it'll likely be a little bit late into the take that you're going to want to come out. Same type of thing as when you're doing the lane take. It's better to be overly cautious here than it is to be overly aggressive. Because if you die there, it gives up a ton of map control to the CTs that you don't have.
Don't mean Molly Pit on that.
Yeah, you can molly pit. Yeah, definitely. It's
Yeah,
up to
if you do
it.
force
That
them
the
to go on an
mollies.
angle.
Yeah, the
I don't
mollies are like mollying pit and flashing out, and that don't flash out if your team's coming out because it'll land like right there and it'll blind them. But if you want to do the molly, do it based on info. Like be confident that you can do it. If you're not sure if you'd be able to get into this position, don't do it. It's better to
Yeah.
just like if you're smoked out or something, then yeah, you can do it. But other than that, like make sure that you're confident. Because the other thing is you don't want to be like sitting here with a molly and then that guy pit like shoots your teammate and then you have to like kind of hectically run out. You'd rather just be ready to do that than like waiting too long to do it. Because your
Well,
job here is to make this guy paranoid of you shooting him in the back if he peeks like here, if he like peeks up here or whatever. Like,
Okay, really quick. The pit molly is also helpful because if that guy just plays like that angle right behind the dildo, where he can just watch sight cross from Moto, he doesn't have to actually peek anything. If you molly that, he has to run into like a really awkward position,
Yep.
and then he gets isolated really easily.
yep, exactly.
Do you want a guy running in a grave to help clear pit?
If there's a guy pit and you have numbers, yes. If there's like if it's a weak numbered situation, then
So like a 4v3, like you wouldn't want us to.
well, no, 4v3, yeah, definitely. I want you to like I said, pit is the way that you win rounds at a post plant. You almost always need to get a guy into pit to have like a reliable chance of winning the round. So you want to isolate this guy pit. That's the whole reason why Ender's there, and that's why Jay's like Jay. So if it's a 5v5 or like a 5v4, if you have 5 alive and you're executing, Jay, you're coming up right side mid, and you're just waiting for this default guy. I don't want you to over peek pit or anything like this. I want you to just like kind of wait here, like make sure there's no one like close porch or something like that. Because on this type of execute, the CTs are going to be forced into a position where they have to take control somewhere. So they're either going to fight Moto, in which case you have 3 teammates there, or they're going to try and take control of lane or double up in pit. So I want you to be in position so that if they try and take control of lane, you can just frag them. Whether that means like you holding here or like getting into boiler or something like that, that's fine. But you want like say this guy like sits here and fights your teammates. Like maybe he doesn't think you're lane or anything like that. Like he cleared it earlier, and then he goes to like here to shoot your teammates. I want you to be able to just like pop out and shoot him. Same thing as if they try and take control of porch. I want you to just be ready for it. Okay.
Yep.
Jay, you're a really good like clutch player. You have good intuition. Like you're really good at just reading what you want to do and what the like CTs are doing without like thinking about it too much. So just kind of use advantage of that. Like don't second guess yourself too much. Just play like how you would feel comfortable playing and like trust your gut a little bit. You seem to have like good intuitive reads from what I've watched, so just trust that.
Okay.
Okay, so those are your wraps. Like I said, the smokes are going to be in the document or the imager thing. If you guys don't know them already, you can look at that to go over it. So we're going to go over B execute. You're going to have 2 B executes. One's going to be like a standard B execute with mollies and smokes. The other is going to be like a B, like the fanatic wrap. So I'll go over the standard one first. AJ, you're going to be throwing the CT, smoke, and molly. So this one's going to be a little bit different than the normal CT smoke. It'll land the exact same way,
Because it
but
lets me get in a position faster.
you stay in the exact same position. So
Oh,
so
okay.
it's going to be from here. This is a nitro special. I learned this on my own, but it's your new box.
A nitro special.
Yeah, a
okay.
nitro special. Anyways, so the way that I do it is I line up my thumb with this wire right here. So like that. So you sit at the same spot as the molly, and then you just line up your thumb like that. Okay? And it'll bounce like through this little thing and go. I moved forward a little bit when I was talking, so I missed, but it'll do it. If you watch the actual lineup.
Just show me the molly lineup. Show me the molly lineup.
Yeah, the molly lineup's the exact same. So you look at the like you see this line in here, and then you look like see this pillar right here, the one right to the left of it.
Okay, there we go.
And it'll molly new box. And then the smoke will land for CT if you don't move when you're throwing it. I no clipped a little early, so it moved, but if you do it properly, it'll bounce through the thing and land in CT. God.
Can you show the first molly? First orange.
Yep.
Do
you have a jump bind?
Jump one.
Yeah, do you have a jump bind, Ender? Okay, so you
It's
basically
easy without a jump bind.
yeah, you can just like that's without a jump bind.
Yeah.
Just go like that. Oh, molly like that. I have a lineup for it that'll show you after. I don't want to spend too much time like having you guys like watch me throw smokes. You guys can learn that on your own time, and I'll talk more about the strategic aspect.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so AJ, you're throwing that one. The timing, the way that it works out is you throw that smoke, then you throw the molly, and then I want you to flash over just deep once, okay?
Okay.
Not like that, obviously, but
I know.
I can't talk. My mouse button is my fucking, or my left mouse button is my talk button, so it
Your
gets
left
kind of
mouse
fucked
button
up.
is your talk button?
Not my left, like the left side of my mouse
Yeah,
button.
no, I get it. Your left
Mouse
mouse
4. Yeah, my left mouse button. I don't shoot weapons actually. I use spacebar.
Oh,
You're
I
you're a
see.
true you're a true support player.
Okay, so Delph, you're gonna be the entry on this. You have presumably used your smoke already. If not, you'll use it later on in the round. What I want you to do is
Okay.
you're gonna throw this like this entry flash, I assume. You
Yeah.
just like run forward, jump below.
Just
Okay.
running out.
Okay, so after that goes off, when you're taking it, I want you to cross to water right away. There's going to be a molly here and a molly new box, and I want you to isolate this angle here. If you don't see anyone, I want you to jump up right away. You're going to have spindle smoked off. So I want you to pressure site. I don't want you to like sit in water. The number one mistake teams do when they're taking B is they sit too long in water, and then it gives rotations time to come in, and you don't want to do
Yeah.
that. The B players, if they're smart, will be trying to stay alive as much as possible, especially on a molly execute. They're going to be forced out of position, so you want to abuse that and just gain ground on them really quickly,
Yeah.
clear your spots, take the site. I don't want you to hesitate. That's the number one thing you need to do. Like if you ever watch good entry fraggers on this map, they won't hesitate. They'll jump up right away if they don't have a name duel.
You just have to kind of think about like where you would play on CT if that happened to you. Like, I would personally be playing like an off-angle new box, trying to get a pick or something like that. So you just have to be wary, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you just have to. Your job is to, as an entry guy, your job is not to like only kill people. Like you want, that's obviously the best case scenario, but you also, a big part of entering is gaining ground and forcing CTs into uncomfortable positions. So, if you can't get the kill, the hope is that your second guy in gets the trade on him. So you've done your job if you force the CT out into a position where he's uncomfortable, or like he's had to shoot like 10 bullets at you or whatever, and then has to like swing over here and this guy just kills him before you can do that, that type of thing. So whatever angle you take, like you always want to be pressuring. Ignore this angle unless there's a guy jumping up. Count on your team to cover the run through. Your job is to like almost tunnel vision on like the back of sight in these spots people can hide in and get there. Like I want you to be like, if this guy's playing this angle here, I want you to come around the corner and this guy's gonna be like, holy fuck, he got there fast. Like I want you to fly around the corner and just frag this guy while he's like
Yeah.
watching that angle, that type of thing.
All right, perfect.
And when I'm second entering, do you want me to just like go right up into site, or do you want me to like follow down?
You're gonna okay, so I want you to do it kind of based on intuition. You're good. You and Jay both have like really good intuition about where people are. So so say they've not done anything to counter your take. Delph's probably going to be running in, and he's going to be like right here by the time you get around here, or like close to it, right? I want you to start coming up this angle while Delph's like running that way. Delph's going to hopefully look towards new box, make sure there's no one there, and then he's going to swing out and peek this. I want you guys to be almost peeking this at the same time. So if this guy kills Delph, you get the trade on him. That type of thing. I don't want you waiting in water. I don't want anyone waiting in water except like one of your last couple guys. Those are the guys that are supposed to be like holding. The other guys need to take control of the site. Ender, I want you to do that. Yeah, that's pretty much what I want you to do. Just like pressure the site with Delph, get in on it. The other reason why, Ender, is because you have really good like quick flick aim. Like you're good at like if you're like watching here and there's a guy there, you're good at just like adjusting your crosshair placement really well. So I want you second entry on B because of that, because like it requires a lot of like high sensitivity movement sometimes, and you're pretty good with that. So Jay, you're gonna just be like set up this type of angle, and when Delph throws his flash when it's about to go off, you're gonna throw a flash right here. It's gonna land on the roof. Do it a little deeper than that. You have to move forward a little bit. It'll land on the roof here, and it'll land like right there. It'll blind anyone that's like oranges trying to run out, and it'll blind anyone like Fountain or Emo. But it won't blind Delph running in. He'll be able to run in, and it lands on the roof above him, so he won't be blind by it. He can just like full plow in, okay? And then you're third in. AJ, you're doing the smoke that I said. Kyle's not here, I'm assuming, but he's smoking spindle and flashing over twice.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, you're here, eh?
Oh, I am here.
Are you under the covers in your fucking bed?
No, I had to come sit over here now.
Yeah, and every time I see your stupid M4, I'm gonna go watch the fucking Transformers movie again.
I know, isn't it awesome? Dude, that scene's the best. I think I have it as a GIF on my stream, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't know if it's working.
You do actually. I was watching your stream
Fuck yes.
right when you went live.
Damn straight I do. Okay, so that's your B execute. It's a pretty standard B execute. One thing you guys are gonna have to be careful of is teams that are set up for mollies. AJ, this is gonna be based on you because you're calling for them. So if a team if you do a B execute and a team mollies a lot, I want you to make sure that you use like stuff early at B. So like instead of running your brackets control, if their B is really weak and the only reason why they're winning is because of mollies, I want you to use like Delph smoke at B and like throw some flashes at B. And same with
Just to
Jay,
bait for a nade,
yeah,
and then
just
do
to
the
bait out
actual
nades,
take
exactly.
after.
If you throw against almost all teams, like even some premier teams, like this will bait out nades all the time. If you just like if you throw like a spindle smoke and the CT smoke and then just throw like 2 flashes over, it'll bait out like their full molly set. And then you can just re-exec on it later on. And when they don't have mollies at B, most teams at your level are going to be really uncomfortable holding it. So just kind of
Well, when they base it around mollies and their mollies don't work, yeah, they'll start freaking out.
exactly. So just kind of base it on like how they're playing. So if you guys have tried to take B and they've done that a lot, then just say, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. Then we're going to bait out their nades at B, and then we'll execute later on. Yeah, so that's your B execute. Smokes will be once again in the imager thing. You're gonna also do the plant wrap
Thematic
strat. Yeah. So you throw a smoke from here, and you
Yeah,
throw
I
a
know.
smoke from here.
I know all of these actually.
Okay, good. The smokes, like I said, are going to be in the thing. The one thing about this is you have to stagger flash as well in this because these smokes actually take a really long time to bloom. They take like 11 seconds, I think, to bloom or something like that. Maybe I might not be accurate on the time, but it takes a really long time to bloom.
It's yeah.
So you don't want to run in before they bloom, obviously. So to stop that, I want you to like just start staggering flashes over. So I have it kind of written out. Ender, you're going to be doing the same molly that you do both times, and then you're just going to like throw a couple deep flashes over. Okay. Jay, you're throwing the same flash that you flash. You're probably not going to have both your flashes because you use one B early. So just assume that I'm assuming that you'll only have one flash, so you're just going to throw the same roof flash that you normally do. And then you guys are going to entry with it. One thing we're not doing is we're not smoking off CT. I know you guys know the smoke, but I want this to not be smoked because I want you to be able to isolate this guy. So say their rotator is coming in. So if they're playing a 2-1 and they've rotated one off to B or whatever, then this rotator is going to be coming in truck, and I want you guys to take the fight with him, and you can isolate him when his team in B can't help him. Same type of thing. One other thing with this, because everyone's kind of seen it, don't plant here. Everyone will spam this spot. Run in and plant right here. There's going to be a smoke right here, so you'll have like your smoke here and your smoke here. Obviously, it's not going to be that big ass gap, but run in and plant here because this spot's almost impossible to spam. If they're spindle and they try and spam you, they won't be able to hit you. If they're oranges and they try and spam you, first of all, they're probably going to be mollied out. If not, they won't be able to hit you. If they're new bucks, they won't be able to spam you. The gist of it
How
is
should
they
we-
can't spam you.
How should we afterplant this?
Your afterplant's going to be based on how they're playing. So
And, like how many of us like diagon it in and everything.
yeah, exactly. So one thing, don't be afraid to take control of CT if they're playing. So say you do this execute and both of their players are in B, and you're on a full buy. You can literally just like pressure a guy into CT here, play this corner. This corner is like absurdly OP, by the way. No one checks this fucking corner. Play guys in construction and then just play the post plant. The reason why that corner is like OP is because when this guy's coming out, he's gonna look here and he's gonna kind of try and look here. And as soon as he tries and look here, you just kill him from here. Because this angle you actually blend in a lot. It's like really fucking hard to see. But if there's a guy coming CT, he won't see you at all. He literally can't see you here. So it's a really, really good corner to play if you have to take CT control. It's going to kind of be based on how the round goes. So like when Delph's entering, if they're like clearly both playing on site and they're playing really good spots, you don't have to necessarily isolate them in site. You should try to get control of construction, get control of spindle, and then like kind of like hold for these aim duels and like just fight them if they come out. But you don't have to. You can play like banana and CT as your post plant, and it still makes it really hard for them to win. I'm the hugest of noobs.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello,
Didn't I
what's up?
Oh, you're just mid sentence and then you just stopped.
Okay,
Maybe it's
so
'cause
this
I-
can also be used on an eco for really easy really easy plants. Most teams won't counter it properly, so you'll be able to just plant. It costs two smokes and like a flash, and that's it. And then you'll be able to
Okay.
plant. So you don't have to buy armor or anything. You can just like flash if they're not playing car control. If they're playing car control, I'll go over like a counter to it later on. I'm kind of running out of time right now though, so I want to just quickly go over a couple other
No,
things.
that's chill.
But yeah, so you hold your default, take bracket control, take map control, and then work based off of that. AJ, don't overthink things. Commit to like an idea when you're calling,
And just fluidity with
and
the team.
exactly, yeah. Don't worry about like trying to read exactly what the rotations are or anything like that. That will come later on when you get more experience. For now,
Yeah.
it's better to just have everyone committing to what you want to do than it is to like make the perfect read of what they're doing.
Okay.
Um,
So on CT, I need to be more focused on like what we're doing in relation to what the other team's doing. But on T side, I need to just simplify my mentality and stop overthinking what the other team's doing. Just focus on keeping us
Exactly.
coordinated
CT
and
is
simple.
important. What CT is not necessarily like don't when I say like focus on what the other team's doing, I don't mean like call like super gambly rotations or anything like that.
No, yeah, for sure.
What I mean is like play the game how you would. Don't like try and practice like an aggressive B setup for no reason. Like
Yeah.
do it based on what you think they're gonna do, because you want to test your aggressive B setup against like aggression. If you know they're running mid control every round, and like they're getting bracket control every round, which they were doing in some of the demos. If that's happening, you don't need to worry about like trying an aggressive B, because obviously it's going to work. You're going to get banana control. They've played mid control every round. Like you're not going to be tested there. So
Okay.
on your CT side, work on managing your number advantage a lot better and managing your economy.
Okay.
Number one thing on your CT side that needs work is your positioning in man advantage situations or mid round situations. So don't like have one guy playing aggressive, one guy playing passive, that type of thing. I kind of talked about it. Go over your setups. We'll work on CT side after, because I know you guys are changing CT positions. So I don't want to go over too much of CT today. I want you to focus on like getting a baseline for it, calling some setups, but keeping it pretty simple.
Okay.
T side, I also want you to incorporate more simple, like I don't want to call it puggy stuff. It's not puggy stuff. It's like abuse of how the
Just
other
like
team is
simple.
playing.
Yeah. Okay.
So like don't be afraid to just do like a 4-man B walk early into the round if they're not smoking B early. Like actually call that in a scrim so you guys can get a feel for like dry entering on B, because if they're not using their nades at B early and they're not smoking it off
Like if they're playing
early,
it by sound, yeah.
yeah, if they're playing it by sound, just literally walk, like have Jay throw his flash, like do the normal shit that Jay does, and then you guys just walk behind him and you just take it. Like don't be afraid to do that type of thing. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over for executes with you guys. When I'm talking about one thing that I want you guys to work on is I'm going to give you each something individually that I want you to kind of focus on. Okay, it's something that I've noticed with watching some of your VODs and watching some of your demos, just kind of minor things. One thing that I think all of you guys need to kind of work on. So Delph, the thing that I want you to kind of focus on is backing off gunfights. Right now, whenever you're in a fight, you commit 100% to the fight. There's no like repositioning. There's no like, waiting for your team to trade. There's no backing off from a fight. Right now, you're committing to every fight that you get, which on T side is something that can hurt you, because if your team's not spaced properly, like if you've somehow gotten ahead and like say they got split up by a molly or something, if you commit to a fight 100% and they have like two guys like you did here, you're just going to get killed
I remember
with
that.
no one in position to trade. So work on your
Self-control.
Yeah, exactly. Self-control, exactly. That's what you want to do. You don't have to take every fight that you get. So work on that. Ender, I want you to play a little bit more calm. You seem right now like a little bit hectic at times. And like not I don't want to say panicky, but energetic, I guess, which is good. That's a good thing to have. But part of the problem with that, and like I hear it in your comms a little bit, is with that energy, you sometimes miss out on a lot of info that you're getting because you're focused on like a lot of different things and you're not keeping a calm mentality about it. So you'll not hear some info, or you'll not like it'll kind of go one ear in one ear and out the other because you're like a little bit excited because you're like there's a guy that like pushed up and you did a lot of damage to him or something, and like then Delph will be like, oh, I'm coming up mid to help, and you won't hear that type of thing. So try and be a little bit more calm in your play. It looks like at Hulls you're pretty comfortable, so keep doing what you're doing at Hulls. You've been like your actual play has been really good there. You've made the right decision most of the time, so that's been good. AJ, I think you need to just focus more and stop thinking so much. Right now you're like not playing off teammates sometimes because it looks like you're like trying to figure out everything that's going on, and you
Yeah.
don't need to. You need to just like if you play with your team, it'll take care of some of that other stuff that you're worried about. So just focus more on like playing as a teammate and less as like trying to read everything that's going on and overcomplicating stuff. You don't need like a perfect read of everything. You'll start to get the more you play with teammates and the more that you play in a system that you're comfortable with, the more you'll get like an intuitive feel for what's happening, and you won't need to think about it so much. So for now, keep it pretty simple and just play off teammates a little bit better. Kyle, I don't know if you're here. Are you here? Hold on, I can't actually hear what he's saying.
He's here.
Okay, I want you to be more vocal. I know you have a lot of experience and you know what to do in situations, so don't hesitate to say like, no, I think we should group here or whatever, or like if on CT side, like call out positions a little bit more. Be a little bit more vocal about what you think would be successful, because I know that you generally have the right read. You're just a bit of a passive person sometimes when it comes to that. So don't be afraid to like speak your mind. Jay, your CT positioning is really good, and your intuition is really good on CT side, but your T side spacing needs a little bit of work. So what I mean by that is like, if you see Delph or AJ or whoever like taking mid aggressively to work a pick if a guy was like close or whatever, abandon what your current thought is and support your teammate. Like your number one priority should be like supporting your teammates. So like there was a round where Kyle, that round I was talking about where Delph overcommitted, where like Kyle was in this position like trying to get ready, and he saw Delph running up, and Kyle just like knifed up and jumped up here to get the trade on the guy, and he got the trade on the guy. Like that's what I mean. Like try and be cognizant of your positioning and your spacing a little bit more on T side, so that if your teammates are like, sometimes it is from them being out of position, sometimes it's just like how the round unfolds. If they're in that type of position, be there to support them or get the trade. T side's really about trading on this map. You is OP, yeah, you is OP.
All right, coach.
Okay, so that's
This
pretty
table's
much it.
Fucking dank. That's all I got to. Yeah, you're. Thanks, dude.
Yep, I got my my practice now, so.
What time are you on tomorrow? I want to talk to you about some stuff.
I don't know. I might be going over to Erica's at some point, so it kind of just depends on how I feel tomorrow and whether I decide to go to class or not.
Okay, my morning class got canceled, so I'm gonna be on around like over like 11. Whenever you're on in the early afternoon, I want to talk to you about some stuff, so just let me know.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll send you a message or whatever. It's for me.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you for the tables, by the way. It's like really nice to just have that laid out for you, so you can just visualize it very easily.
Yeah, that's how I do it. I'm gonna send you the template for that AJ in Word so that you can just like do it. You can
I
convert
love that.
it.
My formatting is terrible for my notes. Like
Yeah, I
terrible.
noticed.
You have to understand that there's nothing to understand. I don't take notes very
It
well.
literally, when I was like reading what you had written up, it felt like you were just thinking and writing at the same time, and like
Yes,
didn't
that is-
try and
that is how I
make it
take
concise
notes.
at all. Yeah.
No, that is not how I take notes.
Ian, you're so popular, dude. You should stream.
Oh, thanks,
You
man.
have 70 viewers and you're just talking
Oh,
about
shit.
taking us to school, and you have 75 viewers.
There's
Bro,
no
I
way
see
that's actually
86.
75
I
like
see
legit
86.
viewers,
I
right?
don't know.
Yeah,
Someone
I
must
see
be
like
view
86.
I
botting
see
me.
72 now.
I see
I see
86.
something.
That's insane. So you have 86 people watching you take a bunch of shitty players to school. Imagine if you were
Wow.
just playing all the time.
Yeah. Everyone
should
probably
be like,
just
what?
thinks I'm Nitro from Liquid. That's all.
Probably.
Is that the real fake Nitro?
Are you the Nitro from Team Liquid?
Are you the Nitro?
You look way older.
I actually don't have my cam
Wow.
on because I left it at Erica's, I think.
I told everyone in the chat you're a liquid knight.
Shut up.
Ian,
Ender.
Ian, are you wearing your business shirt right now?
No, I'm not wearing my business shirt, sadly. Fucking business shirt.
Your red business shirt.
Was that you that called it a business shirt, by the way?
No,
No, it was Erica.
Oh my god.
That's why I said it. It's because I know she's in the stream right now.
I wish
Oh,
I had a
man.
business.
Yeah, Ian, how do you manage playing with Simple? I've heard he's pretty toxic.
Oh yeah, you know what? He's really good. He's a great guy. Really, I get along really well with him.
No, like the thing is, like Simple doesn't know English very well, so he's not very able to like dish out his toxicity when he doesn't know it. So it's just
Ender, you stop talking a lot in the middle of the sentence. It's like you
He's
let
in
go of your
ESCA
mic
Mumble.
button.
No, he's
I
in
was
ESCA
playing-
Mumble and
I
it
was
like
playing
lags for him for
Windows.
some reason.
I was playing Windows for the first last 3 hours, and I finally switched back to full screen, and the game just looks weird.
I know, I do that all the time. Like when I watch demos and stuff, I do it in windowed all the time.
Well, I
And
started doing
it's-
that too, because you told me to.
Yeah, and so then I just have like a Word doc open or whatever, and it's just like it fucks with your mind a little bit. Especially because like I play with it off centered, so I can like write on Word after, like on the right side of it. So when I like center it, it just like fucks with my mind, and it's like, why is my crosshair in the middle of my screen? Anyways, practice time.
Yep.
Before my team kills
Thanks
me.
again, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, coach.
Shut
All
the
right.
fuck up, AJ.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for all the follows, all that.
He's
Fight me
definitely-
at LAN, bro.
He's
Fight me
definitely
at
not.
LAN.
He's not going to give me admin before he leaves, is he?
You won't.
I have to go. I have a team practice
You
now,
got it.
so
Oh wow.
I
Next
cannot.
level.
Lucky.
Yes, no.
He got
Coach
you.
Nature.
He got you, admin, bro. He got you, admin. Go ahead and put respawning back. on, please.
Thanks for watching, though, guys. I'm kind of surprised I got so many viewers. You know,
Free for all!
I'll try and stream more of this stuff if you guys are
Yeah,
interested.
please,
I'm gonna be coaching them throughout
is he
the
still
season,
streaming?
hopefully. So
No, he's probably like
He's
addressing
probably
his stream
turning
right
it
now.
yeah, I'm talking to my stream right now, AJ. God.
Jesus. Are you
As
gonna,
if you
are
ever
you gonna
talk to your
stream at
stream.
practice?
No, I'm not gonna stream at practice.
Is that what you're telling your stream? Is, hey, listen, I know I have 80 viewers for my first time streaming in 6 months, but I'm gonna stop streaming now. Bye.
Yep, that's pretty much what I'm telling them. To be honest.
Goddamn.
Rip.
Just do not care about your loyal viewers.
No, I
I'm
care
going
about
on
them,
phone.
but my team is my priority, and if I don't want
That is
people
very
to.
true.
I hope everyone unfollows you.
Thanks, Kyle. God, you guys are mean.
Hey,
Alright, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna turn it off now. I got team practice, so.
That
yeah.
Twitch moderator that was in your chat wants to scrim our team as well. BDSPLD.